And welcome to the Cleve, Loveland, and Loan Arranger Show here on WDBO every Saturday at noon. We give you all of your real estate news, no fake news here about what's going on in the market, where are interest rates, how to get your house ready to sell. Are we in the midst of a bubble? Are the prices going to start to come down? And we know they're rising quickly. But first thing I want to go over is the inventory. I get great numbers from the Board of Realtors every month. They do a great job of giving us the stats, and this tells us what's driving the market and where we're really at. Because you can't, Lord knows, you can't find it out there in the newspapers in town. 2,800 homes for sale. Now, what's interesting about that, Bruce, is homes. We were averaging about 7,000, 6,500 homes for sale for about the past 3 years. Then last year, late last year, inventory started to slowly drop. And it slowly dropped and dropped and dropped until January. All of a sudden, we're down to 4,000 homes for sale. Then it drops down to 3,000. Now it's been at 2,900. It went down to 2,600. Then May, it climbed back up to 2,800 homes for sale. So I think we've kind of bottomed out. And what's interesting is the number of new listings, the number of homes popping on the market was over 20% higher than it was last May. So that means more people are saying, hey, I'm going to get a good price. Let's go out there and see what we can do. So I think we've hit the bottom of the inventory. And I've got
meaning what? The bottom of the inventory, you mean?
I don't think it'll go any lower. It won't really go any lower because so many people are like, wow, I'm going to get a good price. I can do what I want to do. They can get a bigger home. They can get a smaller home. Now, here's the important part. Here's why you need to call me. You've got to arrange that because I can sell your house. Average time on the market I've got is less than a week. And I'm usually looking anywhere between 5 and 20 offers. But where are you going? So you've either got to get them approved to buy without selling. I want you to talk about that in a second. And or I've got to get you a lease back, which I can do. So that's why I'm a negotiating expert. When I do this, I'm not just looking for the person who says, oh, your house is $400. I'll pay you $420. I'm looking for the person who says, all right, I'll pay you $410. I don't care what it appraises for, and you can stay for 60 days after closing. And that can be arranged. It can be negotiated. And that's what I do. And it just depends on your situation. So let's say somebody they know their house is going to sell. It's what are they going to buy? How do you help them in that buying side?
Well, everybody's different. Everybody's qualifications are different. There's not one size fits all for anything. But what we do is in this market, we do realize that you're likely going to be up against other offers that you're going to compete with.
Yeah.
We do realize that there's a good possibility that you might pay over ask price, which would likely be over the appraised value as well. Not uncommon right now for us to see that. But what sellers aren't willing to accept right now are contingencies. A contingency would mean, well, maybe you haven't applied for your loan. Maybe you have a house to sell. Maybe you're expecting a bonus to come in. Yeah. Could be a contingency for anything. But sellers have got options, so they're not going to choose the person that has any contingencies.
Yep.
So when you come to me or anybody comes to me and says, I want to get qualified to buy a new home, and I already own a home, but I don't want to move out of my home until I buy the new home, then you have to qualify for both homes.
And it's really, this is kind of showing me something. I like it when people are that financially responsible that they're not dragged down by the boat anchor of the first home. I like that. It's a good place to be in.
Like it's a great place to be, but not everyone.
Yeah, not everyone can do it. I run across people with 15-year mortgages, and it's like, wow, they've got so much more cash here. So this is something like that. But the main thing nowadays, and most of the time, Bruce, I'd say my average is I'm getting about 2 or 3%, let's say 4% sometimes over list price.
Yes.
But I'm really my real question for an offer is the buyer fast tracked? And I want you to explain that in a second. But
Absolutely.
Are they fast tracked? And then are they flexible? And that's what I want to know. I just had an agent the other day, and they're going to lose this contract because they were not up front with me. They got me an offer. They got the winning offer on one of my listings. But then we call the lender and start checking on it. They're like, oh, well, the only condition is they've got to sell their other home. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
That's a pretty big condition.
It is, and the realtor was not upfront about that. So he's going to cost that buyer the home. So they chose the wrong realtor, obviously. But things like that. So I'm worried. Tell them what fast track is, and that's really the best part.
Here's the thing. For all of y'all listening out there right now that are considering buying a home, here's fast track, and here's why it is a huge advantage for you if you're looking to enter into the market and purchase a home right now. So I digress for just a second. The normal course of action for a lender is to pre-qualify you, which means they'll have a conversation and pull a credit report.
Yep.
The next step is to pre-approve you, meaning I've seen your bank statements, your pay stubs. I know where the cash to close is coming from.
Yep.
I know if there's any contingencies. I've verified your employment, and I've verified your asset, and I confirm that your credit's good.
Yes.
You write a letter of pre-approval. Most lenders will then send you out shopping. Then you go into contract. You do your home inspection, you order the appraisal, you get the appraisal back, then the lender sends it to underwriting.
Yeah.
I do it the opposite. I'll take the pre-approval, and provided I've got all the client's documents, I'll fully approve the loan with an underwriter in advance.
It's a Larry the Cable Guy loan. You get her done.
It's done.
All up done up front.
Well,
done up front.
And Cleve, here's the thing. And I know Cleve understands it, but all of you need to understand what advantage and why Cleve loves it. The loan is done. It's fully approved. The only thing that's missing is a contract.
And a house.
Well,
yeah, contract
on a house, the appraisal,
yep,
and the title work. Well, we almost never have title issues.
Yeah,
it does happen, but it's not
I have
very
open
often.
permits pop up
And once you're in contract, you're in contract. Now it's just about, is the house going to appraise?
Yeah.
But what I will do that sets me apart and my clients apart is if your loan's been fast-tracked, I will guarantee the seller a 30-day or less closing.
Yep.
And if I miss that closing date, I'll pay them up to $500 a day for every day I miss the closing. $500 a day for every day I miss the closing. Now, do you think I would put my money where my mouth is?
No, you get it done. I tell realtors that all the time.
Get it
when I run across other realtors, and I don't take out-of-state loan reps. I don't take online lenders. I don't want to call a call center in Detroit or Mumbai and try and find out about your home loan. I want a local company, and I know that's what I get from your team. My team, I have one transaction coordinator can call here and check on our 4 or 5 loans we have with you, and we know what's going on. So I want to back up to one thing there. The other important part of the transaction is the appraisal. And I want to tell you what I do to make sure a house appraises and to make sure we get to the closing table. Sure. The appraiser, when he's coming through, when I get a house under contract, it automatically goes to where it's an appointment only. They got to talk to me if anybody else wants to come through the home. Because the next 2 people through the home should be the building inspector, and a week or so later should be the appraiser. Right. Now, when this appraiser is going to go through, I want to talk to him. I want to give him some history on the house. Say, hey, all right, that's a great house. I just want to make sure you notice I've got an upgrade sheet on the table for you. I have the owner write an upgrade sheet that he spent $30,000 on bamboo floors, and he just did a $40,000 addition on the back, and there's a 6-car garage man cave out back that cost him $100,000 10 years ago. I want all these notes bullet pointed on the counter for him. I'll have a couple comparable sales on the counter for him. I'll tell him those are there. I just want to point him in the right direction, and I just want to make sure, and then the owner will give him a nickel tour, 10-minute tour of the property when he gets there. They love to eat up data. I just want to make sure they get it all in front of them when they walk through. And knock on wood, I have not had any appraisal issues this past couple years on properties. Every once in a while, miss by a little bit, but when I have multiple offers, it's not a problem for the seller.
Well, and it's not uncommon for us to miss by something right now because the properties are going up faster than the comparables can support it. And I see people getting upset with appraisers, but the fact of the matter is that appraiser has guidelines that they have to work with.
He's not going to live in the house.
And here's the thing. Most appraisers don't want to be a deal killer.
Yeah.
But they also don't want to get cut off by the lender if they're missing things, because lenders will cut them off. Like there's naughty lists from lenders that will say this appraiser cannot do the appraisal on that transaction.
And I've seen some, like I had one the other day, and I don't know why the appraiser came out of Ocala for a property in College Park, right down the street from your office here, Bruce.
Nice.
And and then
it was a nice drive.
And then they sent me a note saying, hey, we didn't make value on our appraisal, and it's some kind of VA form, and they asked me basically to do the appraisal.
Tidewater.
Yes, that's exactly it. And I'm like, I pull up on MLS, and I'm like, okay, I got to be missing something here. Right on the MLS map is my listing's in the center, and it sold for $429. And within 3 blocks of it, there's 4 sales in the last 90 days for $440, $470, $510, and $550. And with adjustments, I'm like,
but he missed it.
And I don't know what they used because they didn't show it to me. Anyway, so I had to send those in, but I did it, and I marked the form. I did net adjustments, and I sent that through. So
did he make any adjustments? Or
I haven't. I find out tomorrow.
So VA appraisers are very difficult to get to move, right? They are chosen by VA. They've applied for the job. They got the job, and they're guaranteed the work. Whenever you guarantee somebody work, they don't actually have to earn the business. The quality of workmanship goes downhill. I had a recent incident at a local restaurant here. You can check out my Facebook page on my incident at a local restaurant that I had that all had to do with bad service. But we'll come back to that. If you have any questions for Cleve Loveland, or you'd like to talk to Cleve or any of his team, just give him a call at 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118, or go to cleveloveland.com. If you have questions for Bruce Woodburn, I am the Lone Arranger. You can reach me on my direct line at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144, or visit my website or apply online at webringyouhome.com. That's webringyouhome.com. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on our iHeartRadio channel. Check us out on our YouTube channel. You can check us out on all of these different aspects so that you too can see us when we're or listening to us either when we're on the air, or you can check us out on our podcast or our YouTube channel. Either way, we're always there for you.
Fun fact about the market right now, Bruce. Despite it being a very hot market, the hottest we've had since 2005 in 15 years, 16 years, believe it or not, 10% of the market every month doesn't sell, and they actually drop off the market. And these are sellers that go on, they got the wrong advice, and they got the wrong marketing advice, they got the wrong staging advice, and I actually got a phone call from one of our DBO listeners. I went out to see her, and she'd been on the market for almost 45 days and hadn't sold in this market. So I'm expecting to go out there and see a chalk outline of a dead body in the living room. And really, it was bad staging advice. It was bad showing advice. The house was locked down, appointment only, and the owner didn't even know that.
Sure.
And I don't know why, but anyway, we did a couple things. I changed the price. I've already got realtors going through the home. I'll probably have the lady on her way and packing her bags, ready to move to where she's going to be closer to mom and dad, to take care of them. But it's just, when somebody's getting ready to sell a home, all you got to do is call me. And this is whether you're 2 months away or 2 years away. I help people all the time prep for that. I've got somebody I'm going to see today just to help them with decorating. They know they're going to be in the home for another 3 years. The kids will be out of high school then. They're redoing the inside.
You're going to help them with decorating.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up pictures of nice new homes and say, this is what you should look like. I'm not going to.
I was going to say, you need to put that ascot on.
No.
Right? No. And your pink tight pants.
Basic colors and staging, and where not to spend too much money is the main thing. Because normally, but this is a situation where, we want to go look like the builders' models do. Those builders do millions of dollars of focus groups and research.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so why try and reinvent the wheel? Just copy what they're doing.
Just do what they're doing.
That's what's hot right now. It doesn't matter if you don't like the neutral grays and whites. That's what everybody wants nowadays. And thank God mauve and seafoam haven't come back from the 90s, because that's when gray and white was hot.
Yep, we're waiting for that harvest yellow and avocado green.
Yeah.
We got about a minute and a half left. But when we come back from the next break, I want to talk a little bit about some significant changes that Fannie Mae and HUD have made to new guidelines that are going to help more people qualify for a loan. So when we come back from the next break, I want you to stay tuned to this, because a lot of people that had student loans or have student loans that didn't qualify because of the payments that were required from the lender to use for those student loans have now changed. And there's also some changes to Fannie Mae when it comes to IRS repayment plans that were not allowed. So I want to talk a little bit about that when we come back.
All right, phone numbers.
Yeah, if you have any questions for Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage, the Lone Arranger, you can reach me here at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144. Or visit my website and apply online at webringyouhome.com.
In Cleve, Loveland, 407-352-8118. And I will be the realtor coming out to your home to take a look at it. 407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com.
Hey, that's great, Cleve. So you actually personally go out and do that?
That will be me.
So when you hear these giant companies that are advertising every 30 seconds on the news that there have been 27 billion houses closed, that guy's not going to come out?
Most likely not.
Not likely.
And I also never paid a celebrity that I've never met to tell you how great I am.
We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of Cleve Loveland and the Lone Arranger Radio Show.